Good morning, everybody. My name is Balraj Gill, and on this channel, I talk about love, spirituality, business, just life. So subscribe to my channel. Today, I want to talk about the difference between living in fear and living versus living in absolute divine, sacred kind of love. So, and I'm going to give you examples of myself, of course, because that's the best I can do. And that's how I can be most honest and raw. So, last year, I want to talk about living in fear first. Okay, so last year, actually, I would say ever since my husband passed away, so the last decade or so, I have been living in absolute fear, and not absolute fear. I mean, I did have awareness, but I was living out of fear a lot. And I didn't know I was living out of fear at the time, though. As I was driving back from North Van yesterday, I mean, I have been on a high since last weekend. My life is going so great. I'm just on this beautiful uphill in every aspect of my life. Now, going back to the last decade, where I was living, I realized in the car yesterday, I was like, holy shit. You've been freaking living in fear for 10 years, not like a high grade type of fear, but even that like anxiety. And I realized that because my husband passed away in a car, it was a car accident. And I'm not sure why, like I started getting this fear of like driving. I hated driving to Vancouver, even around. I started being uncomfortable going over bridges. And I didn't know, this was now probably in my subconscious coming out. And I realized yesterday, when I drove into Vancouver yesterday, I enjoyed the drive. I really loved it. I had such a great time. My son was in the back. We laughed. And it was my first time going into Vancouver and not being fearful. How am I going to find parking? I would be like, God protect our car, God protect us, and I didn't do that yesterday. And that's when I realized I had been living the last 10 years of my life in a low grade type of fear, but that fear was always there. With everything, even my business, that the fear in my business kept me contracted, and it just attracted more problems. So like I always give my example of CRA when I could have lost everything. All that shit was attracted because inside I was still vibrating at a fearful level. And we all go through a lot of problems with startups. We all do that. And I mean, I went through my fair share of trainers. It was just one problem after another after another. And when I think back to it, I'm like, man, you're strong. Me. Give myself kudos, because holy, that persistent and just not accepting failure is what kept that fear at bay. Now, this year, when all I've done is come from my heart space, because I learned about loving myself, everything started opening up. So when I came from a place of self-love this year alone, my home, for example, I used to be so exhausted before. Like it would be a chore cleaning my house. And you have to clean your home because at a spiritual level, dust, dirt, all that stuff, not keeping your house clean is not good. It's like extra baggage. So this year, I've been loving myself so much. And I talked about how after my shower now, I spend time, I put my cream on, I take my time, and I enjoy my time and give myself self-love. My home, I enjoy the cleaning, the folding. Like, my home is cleaner because I love myself and I love my home. I love it. I'm getting the exterior painted this year because when I decide to move in the next year and 3 months or so, when I decide to move, like, why shouldn't I enjoy my home? I figured enjoy your house for a year before you're out of here. So I'm getting my home painted next week. Like, these are the things that when you start coming out of a space of love and not fear, life starts unfolding in these beautiful ways, in ways you wouldn't even imagine. So my home is just one example. My son, I'm spending more time with him. He loves gymnastics. He now wants to go into football. And damn it, he's going. I am putting him in because I'm vibrating at a higher level. We speak to each other with more respect because I'm not snapping at him. He was one of the first ones where I started practicing, okay, deal with this situation with love. Don't snap at him. Whatever happened today, it's look at it as nothing, not negative nor positive, just come from love. And you know what? It's changed his attitude towards me too. He is becoming so much calmer. So that's my son. My business. Holy shit. The amount of support I have in my business now is kick-ass. People are coming to me. I'm not looking for people. Okay, so clients, from a client perspective, clients are now coming through my space and they're referring more people. I'm not looking for people anymore. People are coming through my social media outlets too. So I want to celebrate that. Because of this time of celebration that I've been experiencing, my gym, a mentor, I freaking have an amazing mentor now whom I talked to yesterday, and I now feel good because I'm going to work on my business and not work in my business anymore. And I have a vision of where I need to walk to, what my next level for income earning is. Do you know how beautiful that is? It's that one step up. And it came because now I love my own self-love. And this self-love is radiating abundance. So that's, basically what I wanted to talk about. That's the difference. That is true life difference between living in fear and living in love. And that's part of the reason I talk about my beloved as well. Like, I'm ready because I've created a path in meditation for my beloved, but I am so loving and radiating that I just want to share this love with somebody so that we can then, I always talk about elevate love together in oneness of the universe. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I had another thought I wanted to bring up, but I can't remember what it is now, so maybe next time. Love you guys. Start recognizing when fear hits you, it's a feeling. Start recognizing it, and then just emulate love, because that's all it's about. That is, honestly. And don't emulate love out of like desperation. My biggest learning lesson was from my ex. Man, after that breakup, when I went through the process of my own self-development, because he tried to teach me love, but I was so closed that I just wasn't there. So when I learned that lesson, like, oh man, this is what he was trying to do. And then I started giving myself self-love and opening myself up. That's when the changes started happening. So don't give love because you feel like you have to, because that's just out of fear again, right? You give that positive vibration of love because you want the universe to give love back. When you give love, you'll get it back. That's just the way it's going to go. Long video. Mwah. Love you guys. And I hope that helps. No fear, only love. Later.